Entering this film, you can see a skyline view where we're zooming into a house. I kind of got inspired by older 90s nostalgia, like Wes Craven type horror movies. I think one of the biggest things you can do for horror movies is give them a certain amount of atmosphere. And I think that the warm colors with the cold sky kind of bring you into a dreamlike state. And I believe that's something I did well. The orange text on the screen, I also adopted that from the old Halloween movies. When we first go into the first scene, you can see myself and my wife laying in bed. I wanted to do more with the shots here. However, because I was starring in the film, I had to get stationary shots and just kind of play with different takes to try to crop in with each other and try to be a little bit more playful. It was hard trying to act as well as shoot because I couldn't really look at the camera to make sure I was in frame. So a couple of these shots you'll see aren't exactly rule of thirds grade. But yeah, I worked with what I had. I do think that, I had a phenomenal help with my wife and my daughter. They did a great job acting. I wish I wouldn't have had this background. Our bed is a big black headboard, and it kind of takes away from the depth. I did have fun shooting this scene because my daughter thinks it's funny when I curse. Try not to curse, but when I do, she thinks it's hilarious.
I feel like I did everything I should have did. Let's just call the police.
And like I said, I do think the acting was pretty good, especially considering none of us act. So with that being said, this play back and forth, I think actually served well for the film and helped push the narrative forward.
Big man of the house. Big man of the house.
Now, this is one of my favorite scenes. I think that from a director's aspect, whenever you can create a scene that stands out in everybody's head, and through the comments, I've seen this pointed out a lot. I do like the claustrophobic feel that you get walking down the stairs. I think that the special effects that I added in also help sell the atmosphere again for the storm and the spookiness and, that horror theme. I will say when we were first writing out the script, or when I did not know where I wanted to take this fight scene. I do not think that it turned out the best. However, I do think that, again, having to act and shoot, I was trying my best to make it simple for the shots. As Professor Tommy pointed out to me, and I completely agree, could have cropped back and forth, cropped in and got a couple different angles for that. But again, it was something where next go around, hopefully I'm behind the camera where I'd like to be, and I'll be able to take a little bit more creative control over the shots. And as we push through to the last scene, I do think that this came through well. To help push the narrative forward of, was he dreaming? Was it, all a lie? Or, kind of brings the story forward. And for this final scene, we kind of reach a full circle to where it kind of confirms everything that happened. The killer was real, and he's still there. And then I like to leave on the note of, we don't really know what happened, because I think that all good films in general leave the audience wanting more. For my closing credits, I just really like this shot that I got of this house lit up at night. And I wanted to do freeze frames. That's like a go-to for me if you've seen my other films. I just think it's a good way to show the cast and to have people relive the film, because the last thing that they're seeing in the film is, a flashback to their favorite moments.